The Effectiveness of Residence Life Programming by Renee Fellinger, Anthony Nicosia, Kay Percival, and Matthew Reitmeyer. Purpose and Problem. The purpose of this research project is to see if the current model of programming conducted by residence assistants is effective in conveying the learning outcomes put forth by the Director of Residence Life.
Classic literature of higher education administration can assist us in making a case for residence life as a department and for the programming that resident assistants create. The student learning imperative from the ACPA asserts experiences in various in-class and out-of-class settings, both on and off campus, contribute to the learning and personal development of the students at an institution. This is echoed throughout the deep study and the student learning imperative. Additional literature asserts that faculty-guided, learning-focused residence hall programs are a potentially powerful method of retaining and learning on campus. This is prevalent when you bring faculty into the residence halls, as shown by Neil Brown, Spencer Hedworth, and Candace Salm. Also, Rebecca Walter conducted a study at George Mason University on a programming committee that was to identify, fund, and evaluate programs that A. build community, B. promote faculty, staff, and student interaction, C. celebrate cultural diversity, D. use the institution's technology resources, and E. increase collaboration across all units on campus. These studies, plus the classical literature, prove that programming directly affects not only the students that attend the programs, but also affects the campus ecology and interactions with all persons involved.
Methodology. We will be using focus groups as our data collection method. They will last between 30 minutes to an hour. Participants will be offered breakfast or lunch based on what time the focus group is offered. All names of the individuals will be changed for anonymity. All information about the participants will be kept in strict confidence. The focus groups were established by Kate, with the help of Brian Dominion recruiting resident assistants for the focus groups. The sessions were managed by Renee and moderated by Matt, while Kate and Anthony took shorthand notes. 2 recorders were also used to capture the session verbatim. The first focus group consisted of 3 resident assistants and 1 peer mentor. Peter was a first-year peer mentor from Porter. Angela was a second-year resident assistant from North Wing. Marco is a third-year resident assistant in Porter. And Victoria is a second-year resident assistant from the Towers. Focus Group 2 consisted of 2 resident assistants. Sephora was a first-year resident assistant from Porter, and Jim is a second-year resident assistant from North Wing. Too many programs are offered on the same topic each month. Efforts are often duplicated and repeated in programs and bulletins. Resident assistants are more concerned with getting students involved than meeting the learning outcomes. Resident assistants express that it's sometimes more important to design a program that will attract students rather than one that will meet established objectives. Resident assistants glance at the learning outcomes pre-programmed to ensure that the program will get approved, but really look at the outcomes after programming. Resident assistants will stretch what they did to meet the learning outcomes. Most resident assistants in the 2 focus groups represented having to stretch the tooth to report having met the learning outcome to their direct supervisor.
Idea discussed within our focus group was to assign each resident assistant with a different pillar each month. The current slide represents that recommendation. As you can see, RA 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 start out with different pillars each month. This will allow for more diversification with their programming and address the need for more student engagement. We also recommend there be sub-pillars for each pillar, since we are aware that some residence halls have more than 6 RAs. Having these sub-pillars will allow for more diversity within the programs. In addition, we recommend a different programming model for non-traditional upperclassmen, students. Following these recommendations should alleviate the repetitiveness many students felt and allow for a larger audience to attend programs.
Our personal observations of the focus groups show that residence assistants at SUNY Buffalo State are student engagement focused. They are more concerned with providing an atmosphere for the students than the learning outcomes that are set forth by the Director of Residence Life at Buffalo State. Also, resident assistants at SUNY Buffalo State are creative in their programming and have heartwarming tales of students having aha moments during and after their programming. However, nonverbal cues indicated a hesitation to discuss hardships with the model, but overall, participants still discussed issues.